In the deepest chambers of their soul, your person carries a truth they can no longer deny or suppress. They do not want to let you go. This is not merely a fleeting sentiment or a moment of weakness, it is a profound recognition that has taken root in the very essence of who they are. Deep within their heart, where all authentic feelings reside, they harbor an unshakable longing for a future intertwined with yours. They are now prepared, perhaps for the first time, to embrace every responsibility, every challenge, and every sacred duty that comes with being fully, completely, and irrevocably committed to this extraordinary connection you share. You have become something irreplaceable in their world. Not just important, not just meaningful, but irreplaceable in the truest sense of the word. You are someone who has reached into the depths of their existence and touched their life in ways that defy explanation, in ways that no other soul has ever managed to accomplish. The impact you have made upon their heart transcends the ordinary boundaries of human connection. It speaks to something ancient, something divinely orchestrated, something that was meant to be from the very beginning of time itself. What they feel for you is not born from desperation or loneliness. Their feelings are not one-sided, not unrequited, not the product of wishful thinking or romantic delusion. The love they carry for you, deep, abiding, and transformative, mirrors the love you hold for them with stunning accuracy. It is as if two hearts were designed to beat in perfect synchronization, as if two souls were carved from the same celestial substance and have finally found their way back to each other after eons of searching through countless lifetimes and endless realities. The passion that flows between you both burns with an intensity that cannot be manufactured or forced. It exists because it must exist, because the universe itself conspired to create this sacred bond. The emotional depth you share reaches into territories that most people never even know exist. It is a connection that touches not just the mind and heart, but the very spirit, the eternal essence of who you both are beneath all the layers of human experience. This connection is undeniable in its power, mutual in its expression, and profound in its implications for both of your souls' journeys. Yet, life has not been gentle with your person. The heavy weight of their past sits upon their shoulders like an ancient burden that they have carried for far too long. Traumas that cut deep into their tender heart, heartbreaks that shattered their faith in love, disappointments that taught them to expect pain rather than joy, all of these experiences have left their mark upon their soul. These scars, though they have made them stronger in some ways, have also created barriers to the free expression of their deepest emotions. Due to these wounds from yesterday's battles, they sometimes struggle to express their love in the gentle, open, vulnerable way that your heart craves and deserves. Their love is absolutely real, burning brighter than 1,000 suns, stronger than the mightiest forces of nature. But the scars of what they have endured throughout their journey make it difficult for them to always show this love in its softest, most tender form. They want to love you gently, to hold your heart like the precious treasure it is, but sometimes their own pain interferes with their ability to express the fullness of what lives within their soul. Even now, in this very moment, they wrestle with a deep, primal fear of abandonment that has become their constant, unwelcome companion. This fear does not announce itself loudly or dramatically. Instead, it sits quietly in the depths of their heart, like a shadow that follows them wherever they go. It shapes the way they respond to you, influences the words they choose and the words they withhold, and colors their perception of every interaction you share. It is a fear born not from anything you have done, but from wounds that were inflicted long before you entered their world. They notice everything, every nuance, every shift, every subtle change in the energy between you. They feel the silence that has grown between you both, stretching like an endless desert that neither of you seems able to cross. They sense the distance, not just physical but emotional, that has crept into what was once the most intimate and connected relationship either of you had ever known. They are acutely aware of the lack of affection that once flowed so freely between your hearts, the absence of those small, precious gestures of love that they once received from you like daily gifts from heaven itself. The absence of your laughter in their world feels like losing the sun from the sky. They miss your voice with an aching so deep it reaches into their bones, into their very marrow. They long for the playful innocence you brought into their existence, that beautiful, childlike wonder that made even the heaviest burdens of life feel lighter and more bearable. Without those moments of warmth and pure joy that you provided, they feel as though they are walking through a world drained of color, where even the most beautiful sunsets appear gray and lifeless. This quietness that has settled between you is not just uncomfortable, it is almost unbearable for them to endure. Every day that passes without your presence feels like a small death, a gradual withering of something essential within their soul. They miss you not in some vague, general way, but with a raw, personal intensity that catches them off guard at the most unexpected moments. They miss the sound of your breathing when you slept beside them, the way you hummed unconsciously when you were content, the feel of your hand in theirs when the world felt uncertain and chaotic. The hollow emptiness that echoes through their days without you is unlike anything they have ever experienced. It is not merely loneliness, it is the specific absence of you, the particular void that only your presence can fill. No one else can occupy the space you have carved out within their heart. No substitute will ever suffice. No replacement could ever come close to providing what you gave so freely and so completely. In the chapters of their past, they were not ready for the kind of serious, grounded, mature commitment that your beautiful heart deserved from the very beginning. Their priorities were scattered like leaves in the wind, blown this way and that by circumstances and influences that they allowed to take precedence over the most important thing in their life, you. Their heart, though it loved you deeply, was not yet prepared to step fully into the sacred role that true love was asking them to embrace. During that time, confusion clouded their judgment like a thick fog that refused to lift. They were hesitant to make the choices that would have honored what you shared, unwilling or unable to let go of other influences that surrounded them like sirens calling them away from their true north. These influences, whether they were people, habits, fears, or simply the comfortable familiarity of old patterns, created noise that drowned out the clear, pure voice of their heart that was calling them toward you. But now, after everything that has unfolded, after the dust has settled and the lessons have been learned, they have come to a powerful, life-altering realization that has shaken them to their core. You mean far more to them than they ever allowed themselves to admit, even in the privacy of their own thoughts. The recognition of your true value in their life has hit them with the force of a spiritual awakening, opening their eyes to truths they were too afraid or too proud to see before. They see now, with crystal clarity, how much you sacrificed for their sake. They understand the depth of your devotion, the countless ways you put your own needs, dreams, and desires aside simply to make them feel happy, secure, and emotionally supported. They recognize now how many times you chose their comfort over your own, how often you swallowed your own hurt to avoid causing them pain, how consistently you showed up for them even when they failed to show up for themselves. Those sacrifices you made did not go unnoticed, even though they failed miserably to acknowledge them at the time. Every act of love, every moment of patience, every instance of forgiveness was witnessed by their soul and recorded in the sacred book of their memory. Now, in hindsight, they recognize not just your worth but your incredible devotion, your selfless love, and the absolutely essential role you play in their existence. You are not just someone they care about, you are the cornerstone upon which their entire emotional world was built. At this moment in their journey, they are navigating through a very rough and painful phase of awakening and transformation. The weight of regret sits heavily upon their shoulders, pressing down like a mountain of missed opportunities and unspoken truths. Every day brings new waves of recognition about what they lost, what they failed to appreciate, what they allowed to slip through their fingers like precious water in the desert. They are beginning to see with painful clarity that they spent far too much time ignoring the purity of your love while surrounding themselves with toxic influences, unhealthy attachments, and selfish people who never truly had their best interests at heart. These individuals and situations created chaos and confusion, pulling their attention away from what was most real, most sacred, most deserving of their focus, the love you gave so freely, so completely, so unconditionally. In choosing these distractions over you, they neglected what was not just important but essential to their soul's growth and happiness. They turned away from the very thing that could have saved them, healed them, and made them whole. This awareness is not easy for them to bear. It forces them to confront the magnitude of their mistakes and the depth of the pain they may have caused you through their choices and their neglect. Yet, this painful clarity has also awakened something profound within them, a sincere, desperate desire to rebuild what was lost, to restore what was broken, to resurrect what seemed to have died between you. They want to start again, not from a place of fear or hesitation as they did before, but from a place of love, strength, wisdom, and unwavering commitment. They want to approach this connection with the reverence and dedication it has always deserved but never fully received. They no longer want to run from this connection that terrifies and transforms them in equal measure. Instead, they want to nurture it like a sacred garden, protect it like their most precious treasure, and allow it to grow into everything it was always meant to become. They are beginning to understand, with the wisdom that only comes through loss and pain, that true love, real, authentic, soul-deep love, is not something that comes around often in a person's lifetime. The bond they share with you is not ordinary, not common, not something that could be replicated with anyone else. It is rare beyond measure, powerful beyond description, and guided by something far greater than the two of you alone. They can feel the divine energy that moves through this relationship like electricity through their very being, as if the universe itself, in its infinite wisdom, placed you in their life to awaken them and remind them of what love truly means when it is pure, when it is real, when it is blessed by forces beyond human understanding. Without you, they feel fundamentally incomplete, like a puzzle with the most essential piece missing. The days stretch endlessly before them, each one feeling longer than the last, marked only by your absence. The nights are colder now, not just physically but spiritually, as if the warmth of your love was the very thing that made life bearable and beautiful. Even moments that should bring joy, sunsets, music, laughter from others, seem to lack their true shine and vibrancy without you there to share them. You bring them something that no one else ever could or ever will, a sense of comfort that reaches into their bones, a peace that settles their restless spirit, a belonging that makes them feel truly at home in their own skin. Around you, they feel safe enough to be vulnerable, to let down the walls they have built to protect themselves from a harsh and often cruel world. With you, they feel strong enough to face life's inevitable challenges because they know they are not facing them alone. You have always been their anchor in the storm, their light in the darkness, their source of inspiration when hope seemed lost. You steadied them when they faltered, guided them when they were lost, and believed in them when they could not believe in themselves. Now they see clearly that their connection with you transcends the merely emotional or physical, it is spiritual in nature, almost sacred in its intensity and purpose. This bond goes far beyond surface attraction or fleeting romantic feelings. It touches something eternal, something that existed before this lifetime and will continue to exist long after these physical forms have returned to dust. It is something that touches the soul at its deepest level, something that recognizes itself in the other, something that says yes, this is home. This is where I belong. This is what I have been searching for through all my wandering. They know they cannot undo the past, those chapters have been written and the ink is dry. But they want desperately to show you through their actions, not just their words, that they are ready for real change. They want to take full responsibility for their mistakes, their failures, their moments of weakness and confusion. They want to prove to you, day by day, moment by moment, that they can be the partner you have always deserved but never fully received. Their heart is no longer clouded by the confusion that once ruled their decisions. It is filled instead with a deep, unshakable knowing that you are the person they want to build a life with, the soul they want to share their remaining years with, the love they want to nurture until their very last breath. They are determined to create a future where both of you feel truly loved, genuinely respected, and deeply valued for exactly who you are. Your person longs for reconciliation with every fiber of their being. They crave another chance to write a new chapter with you, one built on the solid foundation of trust, complete honesty, and unwavering devotion. They are not simply missing you in this moment, though the missing is profound and constant. They are awakening to the reality that you are their true love, their divine counterpart, their twin flame, the one soul who completes them in ways that words will never fully capture or express. As each day unfolds like a scroll being slowly unrolled, their heart aches with a weight that defies easy description. The longing for you grows stronger with every sunrise that greets them without your smile, every sunset that fades without your presence beside them to witness its beauty. It is as though time itself has conspired to remind them of your absence, marking each passing hour with the echo of what is missing from their world. They crave the sound of your voice with an intensity that surprises even them, not just the words you speak, but the melody of your laughter, the gentle sighs of your contentment, the whispered secrets you once shared in the quiet moments before sleep. They long for the comfort your voice brings, the way it could calm their anxious spirit and quiet their racing thoughts with just a few carefully chosen words. They miss the warmth of your physical presence, the way the air itself seemed to shimmer with possibility when you were near. The vastness of the distance that separates you often feels overwhelming. Like an endless ocean, they must somehow find the strength to cross just to reach you. Sometimes they stand at the edge of this metaphorical sea and feel defeated by its magnitude, wondering if they possess the courage and endurance necessary to make such a journey. Yet in that very distance, in that seemingly impossible expanse of space and time that keeps you apart, they also discover the true depth of their love for you. For it is only love, real, authentic, soul-deep love, that can make separation feel so profoundly unbearable. It is only when we have found something truly precious that losing it causes such exquisite agony. The pain of your absence has become the measure by which they understand the magnitude of what you mean to them. Each passing moment is marked by a quiet yearning that has become as constant as their heartbeat, as natural as their breathing. This is not a desperate, frantic longing, but something deeper and more profound, a desire not just for reunion, but for the fullness of life that only comes when you are near. They have discovered that existence without you feels somehow incomplete, like trying to appreciate a symphony with half the instruments missing. The anguish of not being able to hear your words when they need comfort, of not being able to see your radiant presence when the world seems dark and cold, weighs heavily upon their soul. There are moments when this weight feels almost too much to bear, times when it seems as though a vital part of their very essence is missing, as though the world itself has been drained of color and music without the glow of your laughter and the light that lives in your eyes. Life continues to present its challenges and uncertainties, its unexpected turns and difficult passages. But through every twist and turn of this unpredictable journey, you are constantly in their thoughts, living in their mind like a gentle, persistent melody that cannot be silenced. Your presence, though physically distant, brings them strength in moments when they feel weak and fragile, hope in moments when they feel lost and directionless, purpose when they struggle to find meaning in the chaos of daily existence. Even in the silence that stretches between you, they feel profoundly connected to you, as though an invisible thread of light and energy binds your souls together across any distance the physical world might place between you. No matter how many miles separate your bodies, no matter how much time passes without contact, they carry the certainty that you are still there, still thinking of them, still carrying them in your heart as they carry you in theirs. Your presence in their life has been and continues to be a gift beyond measure, something so precious that they often feel unworthy of having received it. The joy you have brought them is immeasurable, filling spaces within their heart and soul that they never even knew were empty before you arrived. You illuminated corners of their being that had been dark for so long they had forgotten light could exist there. And yet, the thought of not being able to hold you close, to cherish you with the simple but profound intimacy of physical touch, to share the countless small moments that make a life together meaningful, this fills them with a deep and aching longing that sometimes takes their breath away. They dream of being able to reach out and touch your hand, to feel the reality of your presence, to ground themselves in the solid truth of your existence beside them.